literally 3 weeks later, I got a little too confident and I get hit again. That sent me down into a spiral. I was able to get out, but it took me a little bit. When challenges like this happen, it really hurts. It hurts not just physically, it hurts emotionally and psychologically.
A cartoon of a man sitting at a computer typing on a keyboard. The view zooms out and we see dozens of other identical men working in office cubicles. The screen goes black. The words "working blind" appear in green, typed out as if on an older style computer.
Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. We're back with another episode in our Working Blind series. This is the series where we talk to amazing people in the community who are working in hopes of giving you guys some inspiration about what types of jobs are possible. For this episode, I've got someone pretty cool here. Mystery guest, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. It's so good to see you, even though I can't see you. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and together we can live beyond our challenges. My name is Kelvin Crosby, also known as the Deaf Blind Potter.
He's on social media, but he's also kind of an entrepreneur, right? Self-made man, businessman. Tell us a little bit about your vision impairment.
I live with Usher syndrome type 2, and I was diagnosed with it when I was 13 years old. If you don't know what Usher syndrome is, it's the hearing loss and a vision loss. The vision loss is retinitis pigmentosa. I was born hard of hearing. When I turned 13, I lost my night vision. And so as I progressed through life, I lost all my peripheral vision when I was 19. And then when I was 28, I lost the clarity in my left eye. Just about 3 years ago, I lost the clarity in my right. I still see my tunnel, but it's like the most foggiest day in your life.
I didn't know there was different levels of Ushers. You said Usher's type 2.
Type 2, right? So let me tell you a little bit what Usher syndrome, the community is. I mean, it's an awesome community, by the way. Usher's type 2, you are born hard of hearing, and you gradually lose your peripheral vision and night vision over time. There's a range of that. And then you have Usher's type 3, which isn't as common here in the United States. It's when you're born with normal hearing, normal eyesight, and then as you grow up, you start losing both your hearing and your vision.
There's a great community out there, especially, running around with the inherited retinal diseases, which Stargardts, that's what I have. What you do for a living. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
In college, I was doing a lot of advocacy, helping deafblind people get access to telecommunication and doing different activities that will help people with disabilities be able to have access to the world. And that led me into a career of job development for blind and low vision individuals. It was great to do, and I was very successful at it, but the biggest problem was I could do the job, but a lot of my clients couldn't. How can I teach my clients the tools that they need to be able to go to work? I found a nonprofit and I said, hey, would you be willing to bring me on, cover my overhead, let me build a program inside your nonprofit? They're like, absolutely. I pulled the plan together, and next thing you know, 6 months later, my program was launched where I taught blind and low vision individuals how to use the computer in the job place. It was very successful, and it's still very successful today. I realized how powerful it was to build my own stuff. Why don't I try to learn some engineering and try to build my own robot? So I decided, I'm going to create the Smart Guider, the robotic blind cane. So I taught myself how to use Raspberry Pi, and through that process, I was like, this is probably not the safest thing for me to do. And I'll never forget plugging some wires into the board, and then next thing you know, I hear the So we end up building our first prototype, a robotic blind cane, which allows you to give it commands, and it will guide you to point A to point B. Why isn't it here? It takes a lot of money to do something like that. As well, I saw the need that 1 of every 3 blind individuals is estimated to be hit by a car. I mean, I've been hit 3 times, and I realized this is a bigger problem than my robot cane. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this. It's the Seemi cane, the lighted blind cane, allowing you to see me traveling anywhere I want to go and safely. And you can see it from 100 yards away. It feels and behaves just like a normal blind cane. That's what I've been developing, and it's been a long time coming. We have a vibration motor on it, makes it flicker. We have a push button that just turns on and off. My favorite part, we have magnetic charging on the end. Because how many times do you trying to plug that stupid cord in, you're like, it's not working? Well, I have eliminated that situation for you. It just magnetically connects and you're like, oh, that feels so good.
How long have you been working on this project?
So I've been working on the Seemi cane for now 5 years, and I really didn't get momentum in the cane until after COVID. People that were super excited about it. They wanted it yesterday. So I get home, next thing you know, COVID is hitting, and I get a call from one of my investors saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to write the check. Then I get another call, and that investor says I can't write the check either. And I'm like, there goes my livelihood. I was banking on that money to move me forward. And then June of 2020 is when I lost the clarity in my right eye and no longer able to do CAD design and engineering and all that stuff I needed to. That turned into this whole problem for me of just trying to figure out what was I going to do and how was I going to overcome this challenge. If you know my story, you know that I've been doing pottery since I was 16 years old, and pottery has been a healing part of losing my vision. A friend of mine called me and said, Kelvin, get back into pottery. And I said, okay. And her sister decided, we need to make a video of this and post it on TikTok. And next thing you know, I'm hitting over 100,000 views in 10 hours and grew over 20,000 followers in one night. Thank goodness that I had the web development background. So I threw a website together right before my next video went viral, hitting 1.4 million and growing over 50,000 followers. That was able to capture enough individual orders as well, mugs that I needed to make. Why not take mud and turn it into money? I got on Good Morning America. I got picked up by several of the local news. And the next thing you know, I have enough funding to hire an engineer and start the process of manufacturing the Seemi cane.
It really speaks to the determination mindset of the visually impaired to, just because it's not working out, we keep on pushing through, find a way to get it done. Yeah, so you had mentioned CSUN, and when I was at CSUN last year, I was standing there and all of a sudden this guy's walking through with this glowing cane. That was pretty cool. So how was that response?
That was the first time I ever had an experience of being like a celebrity. And people were just talking to me. This is so awesome. We gotta have this now. I'm like, I know we need to have it now, but it's not ready now. I'm just seeing if people really want this. I could barely walk 10 feet without somebody stopping me.
If you get this cane, you will be a celebrity. People are going to stop you and ask you and talk to you. It's going to be a conversation starter.
Enjoy the coolness of it, but always, when you use the cane, educate. Why was this made? How many visually challenged individuals get hit by a car? I've been hit 3 times. The first time I got hit was dramatic. I was in New York. I was going to school. It was a challenge to get that independence back that I needed and to be willing to cross the street again. Literally 3 weeks later, I got a little too confident and I get hit again. That sent me down into a spiral. I was able to get out, but it took me a little bit. When challenges like this happen, it really hurts. It hurts not just physically, it hurts emotionally and psychologically.
I did a video several years ago. I had a guy come in for some training and he had his cane, and right when he walked in, I could see how badly bent the cane was. And he said he had gotten hit by a car crossing the street, and it kept on going, didn't even stop. I gave him a new cane. I was like, you can't use this. It's not even usable anymore. Yes, get out there, live your life, be independent, but please be careful. Use your mobility skills, use your training, listen for the traffic, the cross traffic. And so it's nice that now with the Seemi cane, they'll have another tool that can help keep them safe. So let's get it back to you performing your job as the CEO of the Seemi cane empire. What kind of accommodations do you use to do this job?
One of the beautiful things about being your own boss, you get to build your ecosystem. So my current ecosystem today is I run 2 different businesses. So we have Deafblind Potter, which is under the company called Living Beyond the Label. And then we have Seemi, which is under the company called Smart Guider Inc. With that, my ecosystem has 2 different platforms. So we use Microsoft Office and we also use Google Workspace. And I'm able to use NVDA to do most of my computer work. And I am so thankful for NVDA and for them for the many years that they kept their system open source, as well being able to just run a donation program through it as well. The other part of my ecosystem is I use Aira pretty heavily. This whole Deafblind Potter system runs off of Aira services. We do a lot of videos, we do a lot of quality control, video editing, everything from using Aira.
Throughout this Working Blind series, I've talked to a couple people who are self-employed and started their own business. I think that's a good option for some people. You know, if you can work from home, fantastic. Being able to set up your own environment, working environment, set your own times, your own hours, all of that stuff. I think it's a good option for a lot of people.
I would agree. You get to create your own ecosystem that works best for you.
So I will have links, information, contact information for Kelvin in the video description. Once again, if you like these interviews, definitely check out the playlist down below. And we're going to keep on going. We're going to continue to put out great interviews with amazing people like Mr. Kelvin here. Check out the full Seemi cane video. I will have that linked down below. And if you're interested in getting that cane, I'll have that contact information out. Thanks, Kelvin, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.